The Swan Draft Belmont Classic, off and racing. Westbound a little scratchy coming out from the inside. Ladies Pro actually won the break in company with Pony Up, and they're going to really just jog trot the first 200. Coming across now on the outside is Royal Guardian. It might take up that role of pacemaker. Royal Guardian in fact ambles to the lead. Westbound thrusting its head around down on the inside of Pony Up with a very slow speed, but right behind them Ladies Pro dropped the bit immediately, and she's coasting along there, travelling 4 3/4 of a length away from on the rails westbound. They're being followed further back by Autumn Gem, Special Counsel, and last as they get going is Savienne, and they've walked the early stages of the Belmont Classic. To the riverside of the course they go, where Royal Guardian for Tash Faithful shows the way. Pony Up over on the outside, sitting there at its quarters, running second, pushing right up along the fence. Autumn Gem to third now as Westbound popped off the rail and found the back of Pony Up, and here comes a move around the outside from last Savienne. Savienne quickly sprints up, goes to the lead and decides to inject a bit of speed into the race. Thank goodness. Savienne sailed to the front by 3 very quickly from Pony Up. Down on the inside there, Royal Guardian third now. A length and a half off them is Westbound. Now Johnston Porter be happy there's a bit more speed on in the race. Back behind them Autumn Gem, and Pike not letting Westbound out of his sights with Little Ladies Pro. And back last of all now is Special Counsel as they work out off the back. To the top of the course they go. Savienne with that lightning move from last around them gets the company of Pony Up. Pony Up, Savienne stride for stride. Westbound third, only a length away. Back behind those Royal Guardian, followed by Ladies Pro. So Pike continues to follow the hyphenator coming into the turn. Special Counsel getting around the outside. Autumn Gem, Royal Guardian calling it quits at the top of the straight. Pony Up reached the lead. Westbound about to claim it, and on the outside Ladies Pro's about to claim them both. Westbound at the 250 hit the lead. Pike goes to work on Little Lady though. Ladies Pro gathers them up, hits the lead now. Ladies Pro, he has to go to work. Westbound comes back. It was billed as a match race in 2. That's exactly what it's turning out to be. Ladies Pro, Westbound, the girls are going to go gaga. Ladies Pro won the classic from Westbound in a magnificent finish. 5 or 6 lengths to Pony Up, a gap Special Counsel, Autumn Gem, followed by Savienne, and Royal Guardian, who was in front at the post on the first occasion, was tailed off behind them on the second. What a wonderful race, the Belmont Classic. It delivered everything that was promised. Tactically, it was a mess, but the 2 best horses paired off to fight it out, and it was Ladies Pro who now claims the Oaks, the Belmont Classic, and has now got 5 wins from 9. Tactically, a wonderful race to watch. Johnston Porter knew exactly where Pike was in running, and vice versa. The Wizard never left the hyphenator out of his sights for a moment. There was finally some speed in the race because it was absolutely pedestrian until the move came from Savienne, and it injected some speed into the race, which initially certainly probably brought Westbound right into it here with Johnston Porter wanting to use the horse's strength. Pike had the horse with the best turn of foot, and in this game of cat and mouse, it was Ladies Pro that has certainly got the cream. Number 3, Ladies Pro by D'Argento from Il Professional. Grant and Alana Williams peg 1 win back on the Trainers Premiership as well in doing so over Michael Grantham. A distant third in the race was number 4, Pony Up. Special Counsel ran 5th. The numbers 3, 1, 4 and 2. Short Neck, 8.5 lengths the margins, and they were just a cut above the rest. 2:22.05 the time in an amble, 35.67 the last 600 there. And this all ladies syndicate involved in Ladies Pro, well, they'll be absolutely popping the corks out of the champers bottles and enjoying a wonderful victory this afternoon. They turned it on. Willie Pike in the saddle, and she's done it again. There's not much of it, but what there is, it's all racehorse. And she'll get a great ovation from her owners coming back into the enclosure. Westbound by Toronado out of Western Jewel, second Clint Johnston. Porter Pony up by Dirty Work from Digger Pony, Paul Jordan, Lisa Staples in a memorable Belmont Classic. Next event, North Beach Football Club 06 Premiership Handicap. 7 Olympic Park comes out there. 2:44 is starting time. As no doubt a very relieved, a very delighted Willie Pike comes back to the massive pink caps go down to greet him as they make their way back in, Lockie.
Thanks, Darren. What a race. It's rare that a race that is touted as a matched race all week long lives up to the expectations, but that is exactly what the Belmont Classic did, Scott. Ladies Pro followed the every single move of Westbound. In the end, Clint Johnson Porter did a wonderful job to be able to get Westbound off the fence as they passed the post for the first time. But from there, Willie Pike, he just followed the every move of his main danger, and they just went head and head for the final 300 metres.
Exactly right. Like, what surprised me was it looked like Willie was actually very happy and very content to let Clint Johnston Porter off the fence, so that he ended up 1 out, 2 back following Westbound's every move. And what you'd have to read in between the lines there is he had supreme confidence that she would be able to out-sprint him if he was able to track Westbound's every move, let Clint Johnston Porter make his run when he wanted to, and then just bank on this filly's turn of acceleration, which we've seen all campaign. When she burst through that day at 1,400 metres, when you thought the race was all over, when she won fresh at 1,200 metres, you know that she's got point-to-point acceleration. And when she can sprint like that at the end of 2,200, there are so many nice races ahead in store for her.
10 metres past the post, Westbound, he's back in front. He looks like an out-and-out genuine stayer. But this filly, 2,200 metres might not be her go. This might be just a sign of how good she is, because in the opinion of many, she's going to be better suited back to a mile come the back end of this year.
Oh, exactly right. I mean, a mile of a race like a Starstruck, an 1,800 of a Latrice, you just never know. They might even be trying to aim higher than that, Lockie. She's got a real X factor about her, this filly. She has since day one when she burst onto the scene. Melbourne Cup Day it was, when she took on the older horses in a Class 3 and got rolled at about $1.40, $1.50 that day. But she got speared off the corner. Nothing went right for her. And then she ran out of her skin to run 4th in a Guineas in only her first preparation of racing. She's really exciting. Willie, that's exactly what we were hoping for.
Yeah, it was a nice little match race, wasn't it? Tactics galore. CJ sort of poked up a bit early, almost looked like he was going to lead for a stride, and then he reverse parked and popped off, and it was a good, fun, tactical race. I obviously enjoyed a lot more come out on top. It's always more enjoyable that way, but just the nature of this horse, she allows you to adapt in the run, which is, you know, it's not that easy to do. We'll stop, start, and then all of a sudden the pace was injected, and every time you ask a question of her, she's always, yep, I can do that, yep, I can do that.
What was going through your mind when Clint did try to pop off the fence?
Well, at first I tried to contest it, but it's not in her nature to really be wanting to get in a battle so early, so it took me a little bit to wake up to myself, but eventually I was like, well, it's the horse you want to follow anyway, so I come back in behind him, followed him, and then just backed ourselves to sprint past them in the straight.
Which is exactly what she did, and that seems to be her biggest asset, is that turn of foot. Is whether if they go slow, she can go really quick late. If they turn it on, she looks like she'll still grind it out. Yeah, and it sort of did come down to a grinding finish there. I sort of poked my head in front quite easy, but then we did have to grind it out. Like the Cerise and White never go away. They're always up for a challenge, and it was nice to get over them this time. Looking forward for her career, is she a 2,200 metre horse, or is she a bit more brilliant than that, and she might be maybe her best distance is a mile? Yeah, I think she got today's distance because she's willing and relaxes so well, but I think that sprint could be utilised in other places. These ladies are already ready for the trophy presentation, so we better go. Thank you. Thanks, guys.
There's Willie Pike. What a race, what a ride, and Grunt Alana Williams, they do it again, taking out yet another Swan Draft Belmont Classic. Ladies Pro is able to get the job done in the feature of the afternoon.